All right. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Thoughts from the Void with your host, Austin, and co host, Wyoming.
Hey,
Hey. And a special guest that has been on the podcast intruded before, Plays.
yo.
All right. And we're going to talk about the two animes that we assigned to each other. I assigned Akem ga Kill to Wyoming to watch since he never finished it or watched the whole thing. And he assigned Overlord. And I watched both seasons of Overlord. So Overlord 1 and Overlord 2. Which I believe Overlord 2 is done. It's 13 episodes. Yeah. Yeah, it's done. It's done airing. Alright. Alright, Wyoming, do you want to start out with your opinion and give us a little rundown of what happened in Akem Got Kill? You could spoil it if you want.
Well, I mean, any review on this thing would spoil it
Yeah, just
because of
spoil
what
it.
happens. So,
Just spoil it.
I mean, it's definitely a darker anime. It takes the reality of war and adds a nice fantasy like um twist to it. So, it's a assassin group which is like the special forces of a um revolutionary order group that's trying to overthrow the current regime. And the current regime has its own different specialty groups that tries to counter the specialty group known as Night Raid, which is with the revolutionaries. And it really takes kind of it almost takes it to a little bit of the extreme where having to deal with comrade loss because literally everyone in the group dies except for like who you would count as one of the main characters, but
Yeah,
maybe didn't think was actually the main
until the
character
end. She's
until
like
the
the
end.
she had the most interesting backstory,
Yeah.
which is why I have the mangas for Akem Got Killed Zero.
Let's see what's next. Where she journeys off to into the sunset. Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. I mean, the main character, he was a really good swordsman for being able to keep up against the crazy odds that he had to face. And then once he got his super weapon, he did some good work. But the main person they had to fight as I think General Esna. So, yeah, she is just an overpowered monster, pretty much. She loves killing people, which is the only reason she was able to survive how she got her powers, I'm sure. Because she had an undying will to be able to win no matter what.
Are you talking about the little girl that eats the trees?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
She
I'm
her
talking about the
backstory.
ice
Oh, the
girl.
ice girl. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. With the dragon blood, and then
Yes,
she
right.
falls in love with what like the main character boy, but then she's crazy and he. I don't know. There's almost a vague love connection, but then of course they're on separate sides of the
Yes,
war.
the forbidden love
Yes,
of opposite side of the war. Yes,
pretty
you see,
much.
in Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Uh, with
That
what?
that kind of.
Zuko and
No, I'm
Sakura.
thinking of the tale of the origin of earthbending.
Oh, the Omashu. Yeah.
Yeah, so much.
Yes, but that's not about Akima got killed. Now,
No,
now, what did you think?
Kim.
What did you think as far as the storyline, the plot?
The
I
plot
know a
of
lot of
it.
people died and it was pretty chaotic, but It made you feel something, didn't it?
A little, yeah. I mean, it definitely tried to pull on the heartstrings every chance you get, but eventually you just accept you're all gonna die.
Yeah, but like
Then at that, once you accept that, it doesn't matter
I
at that
didn't
point.
accept that. I didn't accept that though. I didn't think the main character was gonna die, because like yeah, there were a lot of characters and a lot of people died, but a lot of people died from both like the good side and the bad side. So I thought that there's no way they could kill more off, and then they kill more off, and then I'm like, well, there's no way they could kill the sniper girl Wally, and then they kill her, or they almost kill her, and then they kill her like later, and then I'm like, oh, well, they're not gonna kill this new girl that they just added that can shapeshift, and then they kill
Who
her,
was clearly saying that emotional attachment leads you down to death?
and then what did she do?
And what did she do? Get emotionally attached and die. I mean,
See,
it
well,
was the most epic foreshadow you could ever have.
but nah, I mean,
It
if you're
was
not
obviously
fighting for
shown there.
something, if you're not fighting for something though, why are you fighting at all? They were fighting for a better world. It was kind of like the same like time of like, you know, um, Full Metal Alchemist. It was around that same kind of time period. And basically, yeah, they had a tyrant for a government, and the government was murdering people worse than anything. So they made a group, and they started murdering the government, and then the government made a group, and they both just kind of like canceled each other out.
Yep.
But eventually, the good guy won, and the only one left was the girl with the demon sword. And
But, I mean, that was kind of stupid
what?
at the end there.
Her
Because
power?
her trump card,
Well, yeah.
cutting herself with the sword, that was kind of stupid. Because, yeah, I was wondering what her trump card was. But it's like, she even said that
Yeah,
you have to be really careful when you're cleaning it, because if you cut yourself, you die.
Yeah, but like if you had a blade,
So it's like that kind of voids that.
Okay, well, no, it doesn't, because if you had a blade that no matter how small the cut was, someone would die from it. You wouldn't test that blade and be like, oh, well, it shouldn't hurt me because I'm chosen by the blade. You wouldn't test that. You're not going to be like, oh, I'll just give it a test. No. So I think it makes sense. I don't think it's thrown in there. I think that was
Well,
planned.
then, if you had that thought,
I
why in the
wouldn't try
world
it.
would you try it at the very end where you needed to win no matter what?
I forget.
Why would you
she did
risk
it. Did
cutting
she
yourself?
Really? I don't think she
She
did it
cut
on
herself
purpose.
right in the throat. It's like, why?
I don't think she did it on
It's
purpose, did she?
Yeah, she did. She
Oh.
clearly did it on
Then
purpose.
I forget. Why did she do it?
I don't know. I don't know at all. That's the point. She clearly, in that moment, looked like she knew what she was doing
Was she
and knew she was going to activate her trump card and not
cut
kill herself.
so like the bad guy couldn't kill her, right? Or something.
No, she cut herself. And then, like, the demon from the
Wasn't,
blade
sword talking
went
to
into her and, like, partially took her over.
Yeah, but wasn't like the blade talking to her? So she kind of thought something was up, and she wanted to pay for her sins, basically. Yeah, she like thought
After
she
she
was
cut
die.
herself, it started talking.
She kind of thought
I
she
don't
was gonna
remember
die,
anything before.
I thought, and then she like wanted to pay for her sins, and then yeah, she cut herself, I guess. I think that's what it was.
Supposedly, it was the guilt
Yeah.
from that she's carried around her entire time builds
Yeah.
up in the sword from everyone she's ever killed,
Do you
and
remember the
carrying that around allows her to be able to wield the sword.
Yeah. Do you remember Suicide Squad? There's a girl
Yes.
in that had the same kind of sword, and the demons would constantly torment and talk to her. Or like her loved one was like stuck in the blade or something.
But yeah, I mean, this is like, yeah, Suicide Squad's a good example. This is like any of your elite squad that has a mission to go
Yeah.
that they probably won't come back from.
I think it's
That's
the
what
kind
this
of
is
story
like.
I like though, because I feel like all the death makes it real. Because people always complain, oh, plot armor, this, plot armor that. We know the main character's not going to die, but then they get mad when everyone dies. So it's like, what do you want? I like it when like everyone dies or everyone but the main character dies in a lot of anime, because essentially a lot of that stuff like in war, you're not gonna get out with all your friends. You'll have stories, and like, you'll make friends along the way, and then you'll get betrayed, and bad things will happen. Pretty much.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have a jolly good time like, oh, we're just gonna overthrow this evil government that murders and tortures its people. No, you're gonna die along the way. There's a reason why they're in power. Let's just say that. And then yeah, he does some super laser over the place and destroys our main hero, but then he kills him at the same time or something like that, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Rate it. Rate it at 1 out of 10. How good was it?
1 out of 10.
Or whatever scale you want to use, I guess.
Well, I mean, we could do 1 out of 10. And that, I'd say, like 6.5 to 7.
6.5. Oh boy. All right. Well, then give me. Okay. I gotta get a retrospect. Where do you place Grimgar? Where do you place Grimgar
Grimgar?
on that scale?
That's about a 7.5.
About 7.5. All right. I guess yeah. Guess we'll just go with that. All right. Plays. Do you have any ratings to give this anime? This animu?
Nope. No comments, man.
No
Playing Overwatch.
Playing over. All right, man. You enjoy that anime.
Which wait, which anime is it? I can probably multitask.
Akem ga Kill. It's the death game.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great anime.
Yeah.
What I like about that anime is quite simple. She likes to fuck shit up, and that's about all I care about in life.
Yeah, and she's the only one that survives.
Yeah, dude. It's all about the killing.
She likes
That's all that
meat,
matters.
and she likes meat. See, I think you got the point of the anime, Plays. You did a good job.
That's right, man.
All right. Well then, we'll go on to the next one.
What I want to know is where the bones went. Whenever she ate the pile of meats, the bones vanished too.
She's a demon, okay? She would cut the meat with her sword, and the entire meat would just disintegrate.
So that's how she built up her immunity.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that sword, man. You don't want to be turning into a demon.
But then, if you notice the other one, her sister,
Yeah.
was being awfully careful when she cleaned her blade too.
Well, I mean, you just don't want to cut yourself when you're cleaning a blade, you know?
Yeah, but she was like cleaning it the exact same way.
Oh, well, she had a special sword too, didn't
And
she?
her sword, like, if you die from it,
Oh,
you
yeah,
become
you become a slave.
a follower to her.
So
is her trump card where
she
she can
herself
make
undead?
herself undead? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. But then she'd become a servant to the blade or something, maybe, for a while.
I guess. I mean, I don't know
That'd be
how
kinda
that would
cool.
work.
Yeah, in the manga, you know how it always hints they were on the same squad and like they were in the same like government research program and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm reading the manga that talks about the backstory. It's called Akem Got Killed Zero. I have two novels.
Hey,
to get.
that's like
19 kills,
no
0
game,
deaths.
no life, 0.
Friend request.
Yeah.
Must have been doing okay.
All right, Overlord. I was given Overlord by Wyoming to watch. It is a fantasy world where they have this game, and the game's about to close, and it's on its last day. One player just kind of wants to sit and enjoy the world he's spent like so much money and so much time into, and he has all the stuff from his previous guild members, and then it happens. It shuts down, but it's not a shutdown. It's like an update. And the game becomes something else entirely. He can't leave. He can't, like, the game's changed on a very basic way. And it's become more dynamic. All the NPCs are pretty much have free will, but, like, they have, like, legions, like protectors that each one of them made. And those still have the same traits that were written in. And pretty much, like, they're all in love with him because he wrote that in their program. When his friends were making it, I guess he kind of snuck that in there.
Nah.
And they all serve him, And then he decides to, in this new world, he has to make a name for himself. And he's already like a god and super strong. So he takes on this persona of like a dual sword wielding guy and doing these quests. And he starts out at bronze, but of course he's way too good for bronze. And then he makes like mythic or like the highest level in their guild thing in like a day or two. He kills
It's animitite.
Yeah, Elementite or something like that. And he kills the great wise king of the forest. No, he doesn't.
No, he
kill
doesn't.
him. He enslaves him. But he
Yeah, that's
defeats
right.
the little
That's right,
rodent. And they're all like, "Oh, his
Little rodent,
eyes
dude,
are-"
he's huge.
Yeah, he is huge. But he's little compared to the power of Overlord. It's all in the name. All in the name. And then something happens.
It's adamantite, Samuel. That's what it is.
All right.
That was close.
You were close.
So then, season 1 ends with him fighting the vampire Lolly because she got infected with a world item that apparently overrules his
NPC
god-tier
programming?
magic and NPC programming. And she's like, she basically gets turned into a boss, and the boss isn't activated unless you attack it. So like, maybe it's like they're like kind of like a Sword Art Online thing where the original creator of the game still has control. So maybe like someone took over control of the game, and like they can manipulate people within it. Because that's what it seemed like.
Well,
Because they never really
that
found
situation with her was because she killed the people trying to take her over, so the takeover was not complete.
Oh.
That's why she was just stuck until someone
If you
did
listen
something.
to the dialogue, it's the reason that she attacked him is because she was set to attack whoever awoke her.
Yeah. And they basically turned her into a boss fight. And then
Yeah, it was a pretty cool boss fight though. I have to say.
it was cool action wise, but like I didn't understand. See, I didn't have any grounds for like the power he had. Like it wasn't really explained the laws of the world, and they were just like throwing out spells and abilities and like character traits that I've never heard of. So like they could literally say anything, and I can't like dispute it. I guess is what I'm saying. So anyway, that was a cool battle. That ended. He won, and they killed her, and then they used 500 million gold to revive her. Just pools of gold. So then she comes back, but then she's still guilty and sad. But like the spell doesn't really affect her anymore. But then he pretty much just has to punish her, and then she's good. And then season 2 is the season of the lizard people, and we get to learn about these lizard people, and we don't see Overlord for like 3 episodes.
Dude, yeah, screw the lizard people.
The lizard
What a fucking
No.
waste of a story.
No, we need to learn about
Dude,
these.
it's 6 episodes about something that doesn't matter. Are you kidding me, dude?
Dude,
I
it's-
love every anime. Keep that in mind. But the effing lizard people, really?
Dude,
What did he
you
get
like
out
the
of it? He
love
got
story?
frost pain out of it, and he got to use frost pain once in his final battle.
You didn't like
I'm
the
like,
love
are you
story,
kidding
man?
me, dude?
They banged, man.
Well,
Overlord
yeah, I mean, that was
watched.
about it, dude. We got some lizard tail, and that was it.
They were about to die in battle, so they thought they needed to repopulate, and
Yeah, they did, dude.
then they went to battle and died. Poor the poor like blue like what is he? He's like an ant almost. The blue like ant guy. He actually felt compassion for them, and then Overlord's like, yeah, you need to kill them all. Overlord, he's like this kid, but then he like his actions have to be based on like this Overlord character he's betraying, and this Overlord character he's betraying is a ruthless tyrant.
I
He will
died
kill
once.
anyone.
Feels bad.
He's becoming more paranoid. He's testing his own followers, his own legion, like the butler guy. He's like, oh, you did a great job saving this prostitute. Anyway, kill her. He's like becoming like Stalin or something. He's like worried about his
Yeah, and if you remember later on in it, he says that when he has one of his talks with himself,
Yeah.
that he's ever since the game switched over, he's lost his understanding of the value of human life
Well, yeah, because he has to be this.
because he's a skeleton now, so
Yeah.
he doesn't understand
Oh, because
the
he's like
value of
literally
human
like
life.
literally undead now.
Yeah,
Well, he still saves her. Apparently,
so he has to keep reminding himself that he's human under those bones.
apparently he had some mind control or some telepathic ability with the blue Ant Man, and that guy stops his
Where's the
punch.
McCree?
Gotta heal the McCree, man. So then the Ant guy stops his punch, and like it just becomes like season 2 should be called like Overlord the side story, and it's a huge play on all these random NPC people and like the lizard people and like the 5 different races of lizard people, and then like the side arc with the queen and like this random sword guy that's like, oh, I chipped the nail of the
Yeah,
princess.
I mean, I look at season 2 as being the backstory before it matters.
It's not the back. Oh, you mean they're setting like the whole reason
this-
season 2 is just setting up plot for season 3?
Season 3, yeah, I think that's what it is.
Let's see.
I think it's all just preparing for season 3 because it's like it is a lot of random side stories,
Yeah, the
but it's
popularity.
like if you put all of it together,
The
it starts to
popularity is a
point
lot
towards one goal.
less. Popularity of season 2 is a lot lower than season 1.
Because season 1, it was more of him battling stuff.
I mean, it's rated.
Season 2 was him.
It's still rated
in the
pretty
background.
close. Like it's rated an 8. They're still rated like both an 8, but yeah. Season 2 is just kind of down there a little bit. It's really just because fans are so loyal. You know, it's a giant RPG, and like I have trouble relating to the characters.
I like watching RPGs, but I hate playing them. I found that out recently.
I found out that I don't like watching them. Because they're all NPCs in Overlord, except for him. But he's essentially becoming an NPC. And I'm finding, like, there's becoming, like, no meaning to this world besides take over it, I guess. Which he already could do, but, like, then it's, like, instead of him taking over the world in Season 2, it's, like, developing all these pointless, weak backstory NPC characters. It's the only one I really care
and
about.
it shows the strong ones every now and then.
Yeah, but they're not.
It shows the ones in the background that are becoming aware of his
Yes,
presence.
Yes, the strongest one.
And they'll come in season 3, but
The strongest
that's
one.
why I'm saying season 2 is just a background.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Dude, the old wizard guy. Remember him?
The strongest one.
Remember the old wizard?
He wasn't that strong.
He didn't do
Dude,
it.
I need
He was
some...
just talking with the emperor.
Okay. That's it. We're
Yeah,
changing
I mean,
sensitivity here.
Like the sword guy. Remember the sword guy? He like chips the nail of the princess, and he's like, "Whoa, I'm actually like chipped her nail."
So you're talking about when he cut the nail on the vampiric girl? Well,
No, not the vampiric girl.
yeah,
The queen.
Yeah.
that's what it was. Dude.
She was interesting because she's not a part of his cast, right? She's the only character I really like see some interest in because she seems to have ungodly powers and she's not connected to Overlord or his followers. So I'm wondering like where she came from. But the NPCs.
You talking the Deadeye?
No, the queen girl and her like guild, I guess. She's got a little.
Oh,
group
the
of
Blue
them.
Rose.
And she has the bodyguard, the blonde kid that bodyguards her.
Yeah, Blue Rose.
Okay. Yes. And yeah, why is she so strong? That's the only thing that's the only question I have from season 2. That's the only thing that really caught my attention.
Because there are other people in this world that are crazy strong. That's why
That's the only
Overlord
one.
is gathering information.
Literally-
No, don't you remember the wizard guy where he was talking with the Emperor at like the very end, and the Emperor was like, "We may have found someone that's finally at your level," and the old wizard dude was like, "I really want to meet this guy."
Is it who's the guy? They don't show the guy though, right?
They're talking about the Overlord guy, the main dude.
No. That's not.
That's
true,
what they're
man.
talking
There's-
about.
There's no way that the wizard guy's at his level. What about the dragon guy? The guy that turned into the dragon? That they're like, oh, you would be stronger if you weren't in this dragon, but you sacrificed yourself. Now you're in this dragon. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this whole season too is just kind of like subplots. And yeah, I feel like you're right. It is kind of just setting up for season 3 because we got the dragon guy. Because like the season ends in a weird way. Like it should have been a longer season too, I think, because it ends with him fighting his own companion and all his companions, and
Okay,
it's
dude.
just
We'll
for
go
him to
back
gain
to
more
8.0.
popularity. It's just a popularity contest for him. So he uses his own followers to be pretend bad guys for him to fight. It's like there's no conflict there. It's just like, hey, buddy, go easy on me, and then we'll just say goodbye before the battle's even over. Oh, you fought me good today. We'll be back.
Yeah, dude, the end was kind of lame. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So.
Well, you gotta think about it like this. The Overlord dude, he is a pretty darn good strategic person. Because he's setting it up to where he has one person who is undercover, which is himself, in the world where he can get inside knowledge on everything.
Yes.
And then he has his demon empire that's outside of it and seen as a threat to the world.
Yeah.
Where if he needs to, he can just use that to clean the slate.
If his goal is to just take over the world, though, he should do what he did to the lizard people. Go out there with a giant brick and say, bend over. And we're gonna kill you all in 4 hours to assert our dominance.
Knowledge right now is what he's doing.
So
Gathering intel. He's still doing what he set out to do in the first season.
he needs to be like trying to figure out what happened and why the world is like this. It doesn't seem
because he ran into that golden statue of the creature holding a bunch of hands, which is supposedly a item that was made by the previous people of his clan.
Yeah.
It was like the final product that is a god tier magic.
But that's not
so
tier. Right? All the NPCs have 2-tier magic. He has like god tier magic. There's like 10 tiers of magic. Then there's like god tier. Then there's like world tier. And then there's going to be like Goku Super Saiyan tier. And then.
Wait. Let's pause for a moment here. Are you hating on Goku?
No.
Right? He's comparing this to Goku.
I'm just saying.
He's like, yeah, just the endless buildup of power.
Because I like Goku.
Eventually, will their fists shatter reality?
Please elaborate on what you're saying.
Let me elaborate.
Please.
It's a ladder to nowhere. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying you have a
sounds like Goku.
A ladder to nowhere.
It's a ladder. You see, Goku, they make it interesting though, and he fights harder people. This guy has
maybe I like a ladder of power. Maybe I want the hero to be overpowered for
Goku
once. Maybe
sense.
that's what I liked about
Goku
Overlord.
Is overpowered.
Maybe that's why they named it Overlord.
Goku is overpowered, and he has to earn more power when he fights a harder boss, and it's about getting stronger. Overlord, it's about we don't actually know how strong he is. He's got unlimited spells. He can literally say anything. We'll believe it because he's the Overlord. So like there's no restraints on the writers, and there's no way to even predict what they're gonna come up with, because they can just say, "Oh, this is my triple X fart magic, and it's gonna blow the world apart." You know? Oh no, not the. He just starts yelling out spells. Oh, shield spell. Increased height spell, increased awareness.
Our poor
triple
intellectually challenged
host here sounds like Kami.
Understand
what was that
story?
What was that shot again?
Somewhere, dude.
What?
You're really making it sound like Dragon Ball Z.
Am I?
Or Dragon Ball.
Well, that
where it's just an endless stream of different moves
no. Goku's got
no one can understand.
Goku's got the Spirit Ball, and he's got the Kamehameha, and that's it. He's got 2 moves, and you know how his magic works. You know how Goku's magic works. He has
Yeah.
force.
Every
has
time he runs into a harder person,
But,
he
like,
simply gets more
Overlord-
powerful.
He
Overlord.
just yells louder, man, and
Overlord,
then he's
he's got-
stronger. It's that simple.
Overlord, he's got the dark vagina.
Okay,
that
let
he
me
reaches his
okay,
hand
let me
into and
elaborate
pulls out
on
anything.
Overlord before anyone who ever listens to this trash will believe you. So Overlord is awesome for the sole fact that the whole anime is devised in overthinking and outcoming his enemies. So if you think of it from that aspect, it's interesting.
Yeah, but
So what does
doesn't
he
have
do?
to.
He goes into the town. He's surveying, he's trying to find out, I'm stuck in this world. What is the best that this world has to offer? Are there still people from my era? Where are we at? And
Yeah.
if I die, is that going to affect me in this game? Yada, yada.
Yes. But he's being super cautious, like he's a level
Oh,
1
yeah, dude,
character.
he's careful as fuck.
But-
Wouldn't you be if your life depended
Dude.
on it?
It's like Sword Art Online if the dude didn't tell you that dying kills you in real life.
It's like Sword Art Online if he didn't tell you how to get out of the video game, and they
Dude,
just
this
had to
Anna, let me describe to you like
cautiously do nothing the entire game. I must save my family. And joins all the NPCs. What? Gary? I must save my family. Just a second. I'm gonna go talk to Gary. You left us back there, Gary. I must save my family. No, what are you doing? I must save my family. It's the best part. Best part of SAO.
Like,
What?
dude, if your family's not dead by now, there's clearly an issue.
Anyway. 6 out of 10.
There's just like one hit.
Maybe 5.3 out of 10. Okay, I'll give
You gotta
it
make
that.
it lower than I rated yours, right?
No, mine was enjoyable.
Okay, so you can understand the concept of killing,
Yours is
for no
rated
reason.
higher on
but
my
when it comes to
my
killing
anime
for a
list.
purpose?
There you go. You're welcome.
Oh, are you kidding me, dude?
Mine's a 7.8 on my anime list, and yours is an 8.1. That's season 2. Season 1's an 8.6.
Exactly.
But your popularity's lower. So
Am I really
not as many
asleep?
people have seen it.
Not as many people posted hate on it.
No,
You mean?
it has less members. Like, mine's 25th on the popularity list, and yours is 90th.
So there's
Anyway.
less people that
It-
care enough to
it's-
post hate
it's
mail.
Good. It's a good anime. With like the guts and like the animation, it's decent. Sometimes they go CG, and it's a little sketchy, but overall it's good. The characters, they're your normal characters that you would find. You got the lolly, you got this like girl that just wants to bang you. You got the vampire that just does nothing.
Who's the lolly?
The little vampire chick that he fights
But-
season 1. That's what a lolly
But
is.
then you said you had a vampire, so are they the same? Were they not the same?
No. Then there's the vampire guy with glasses that looks like he was taken out of Blood Lad.
You mean the demon?
Yeah, he's like a vampire. And then, they all just worship him. And the problem is with season 2, season 1 was definitely better. Season 1's more like a 6 or 7. It's definitely higher up. Season 2 is like a 4. So like if you average them, it's about a 5.5. That's my opinion. There. Is that a little better? You understand where I'm coming from a little more. My season didn't have a season 2. My anime. That's why it's a little better.
No.
It
Had
didn't
24
have,
episodes.
It didn't have season 2, the plot filler. The plot filler. Yeah, it had 24 episodes, but it kept you more engaged the entire way through. It didn't have a lot of filler with lizard people and random characters that you never heard
It
of.
was just a filler for emotion by slowly slaying everyone.
I didn't care about them though. I wanted them to die, and then they're trying to make me care about these lizard people and their lives and their family. And they spend all this time trying to be like, hey, these lizard people, they have love and they believe in each other and you should worry about them. And I'm like, no, just kill them all. But then I kind of looked at Overlord and I'm like, wow, he actually is kind of like a bad guy. Do I really want him to murder all the humans and take over this world?
See,
he really is
exactly.
kind of evil. So now,
So it
I'm kinda
showed you
rooting against
exactly
him.
what you were supposed to see.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
It-
so
it
when he
did its
first comes
purpose.
into the world, he's murdering this village for no reason.
Pretty
Did
much.
you
And
not
he
connect
saves
with
the
that?
village for no reason.
He's not that good of a person. Because all these NPCs essentially became human and they became aware and they have like free will. So you need to, if you don't, okay.
So the question is,
treat
are
them
they
like-
still NPCs?
Yeah, they
Dude,
are
they're just
essentially.
standing and
It
choking.
reminds
They didn't
me
engage at all.
of my
treat 'em like
book series
NPCs.
I used to read, which the first book, Epic,
Yeah.
and then the second book of it, he gets transported to another world where he thinks he's still in a video
That's
game,
amazing, dude.
but everyone he meets in the world says, no, this is real life.
Oh. Well,
So if you look at it like that, then is he in real world or is he in not real world?
he's
That's
he's
the question.
not in a real world because he had memories of like his friends and stuff, and they keep flashing back to that. I mean, we haven't seen what he actually looks like though. Like outside of the
Vaguely.
Skeleton,
game.
dude.
Shadowish, but not much.
Yeah. I don't know. It's either like, yeah, if you treat them like NPCs, yeah, what he's doing is fine. Like murder everyone. Like in Skyrim, I used to just wipe out entire cities just because.
Exactly. And you
But
call this guy a bad guy?
But that's the thing. If you treat them like NPCs and they're just not human, then I'm not going
Got
to
it,
relate to
dude.
them. And why are we doing backstory on them? You know? You see how they kind of
But
like
if you
cancel
think
each other
about
out?
it as
It's either
they are living.
It's either I see him as this tyrant, and I care about the people, or I'm like, those aren't even people. He's just having fun in a sandbox game. He's just messing around, and yeah, that's what it seems like. Anyway, it's a pretty good anime. We should probably wrap things up. Next anime I want to cover is Neon Genesis Evangelion, the original series. And we should both cover that.
What about Steins Gate?
Steins Gate's not going to be all the way out. Like, I want to do the next one in, like, a couple days, probably, when I finish it. You need to finish it, too. And it's, like, a really classic, original kind of anime that basically influenced current anime today, pretty much, with all the tropes and stuff. And I suggest plays. I suggest you watch it if you want to know what we're talking about. And it's just a really good anime so far. And any last words, guys?
Oh, dude, Bastards behind me. Holy shit.
Okay, we got Bastion behind.
Bastion behind, man. Scary voodoo right there.
But wait,
Perfect.
That's Bastion's
Perfect
behind
ending
me. Turn
point.
around.
but wait, plays is Bastion.
Okay, they got him.
Only 70% of the
only
time.
70%.
30% he's on.
Only the games he wins. Alright,
That's
alright.
semi-full know how to kill.
Wyoming, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts? I mean, it was alright,
Just shoot, man.
but I'm excited about the new ones that are starting to air on Funimation. There's a lot of good ones that started today.
Which ones start today?
Yeah, I'm excited about some new
There's
ones,
like a
too.
list of them that
Probably
started
like
today.
Tokyo Ghoul and like,
Tokyo Ghoul. Let me hear your
Let's-
true feelings.
don't get me started. We don't need to rage. Dude,
Don't
I'm
get
gonna
him
burn
started
my
on
book,
that.
man. I'm gonna
That
burn all my
atrocity.
books
Oh, yeah,
that I
dude.
got
We
for a
done
gift.
with Widow.
Burn the TV show that I was bought for a gift. Sorry, I said that. No, it's okay. The
You
first
can't
two
burn the
seasons
good
were
one.
good.
It's when I buy you the
Right.
third one that you burn.
When you buy me the third one. We'll see, man. I hope it redeems itself and gets a new direction, but we'll see. Yeah, so as always, the best anime is
Yeah,
not.
because Steins Gate episode 1 for the new season came out
I've already
today.
heard a review on the first 2 episodes because the first 2 episodes came out.
But then Golden Umbi, which was one I was really
Darling
looking
in a
forward
Frank
to,
out?
Holy
came
shit,
out
dude. Let me just
today.
drive you.
Is the new Darling and
What the
Frank out?
fuck?
I don't think so.
Alright. Because you need
I'd
to
have
catch
to.
up. Because I've already watched further in the sub and it's really good.
Yeah,
Well, that's because you keep watching sub. That's not my problem.
Man. Well,
Let's scroll down the schedule list and see when the next one comes out.
Watch the next episode.
It comes out Thursday.
Dude,
Alright. Well,
now's a good time to ask your sponsors for enough money to get your own Funimation account.
what are you talking about? Me and Wyoming have a deal. He lets me use his Funimation. I let him use my Hulu and Netflix.
Dude, he gets Hulu for free with Sprint, and he's using my Netflix because I have 4K. So what were you saying again?
I haven't watched Netflix in a long time.
Yeah, he just uses my Hulu. He has his
Dude,
own
I'm catching
profile.
up on Black Clover. I just watched episode 23
Yeah, I was
last
watching
night.
some Black Clover. You know, it's good. It's good
I
animation.
just
good
finished the
and
last
Good
episode,
and
the
wait.
latest
Like,
one.
you gotta take a break, dude.
It definitely has more story building and like it has more rules than Overlord. Overlord has no rules.
What are you talking about, man? I just had the whole country invaded by zombies, and guess what?
And I like that better.
The
Because
king,
like I feel like there's
the Wizard
restraints to
King,
their
was
magic.
nowhere to be found. He wasn't even there, dude.
Yeah, but then he comes back, man, and he just like one shots everyone.
No, he didn't even come back,
You
dude.
didn't see him, man. He came back and he just
I've not gotten that far. Don't talk to me about anything, dude.
He reminds me of Naruto, like the way he looks. The old, like an old Naruto. All right, this has been Thoughts from the Void with Austin, Wyoming, and Plays, and we're gonna watch Evangelion next, and we'll see what we like about that. And we'll see you guys in the next video.